Greetings, Captains. Welcome back to Let's Play Star Trek Online, Season 11, New Dawn. We are finishing up now the Cardassian Struggle. This is the last mission that we're about to do in the Cardassian Struggle that is brand new. After that, everything after that we've played already. That's the 2800 featured episode series. So let's do this. This is going to be the new link. The Cardassian Struggle, and you will see here new link, the new link right before second wave. The changeling named Loss has deceived the other changeling in his link into thinking we are exterminating them. You must convince them of the truth. Please stay around at the end of the video and I will give my overall summary of these missions, what I think is good and bad, and go over the missions that have been removed in the Cardassian Struggle, what they were like, and talk about that. So, hope you stay tuned for that.
Naaman has decrypted the coordinates for the new link. They designate a location in the Alpha Quadrant, in the Orion system. This changeling, named Loss, has deceived the other changelings in his link into thinking we are exterminating them, and that we massacred the Gamma Quadrant changelings as well. You must have Naaman help you convince them of the truth.
Okay, and we will get resonating dual tetrion beam, resonating tetrion beam array, Chronoton mine launchers, Chronoton torpedo launcher.
How can I help you?
Standard equipment for this type of mission, because these are regular captain missions as you go through the game. So nothing, extraordinary. These are not featured episode missions. Okay, so we are very close where we need to be, the Orion system. And we will go see about this new link and Loss. If I recall correctly, this is the same system that the previous new link was in. Could be wrong, but it sounds right, although that planet definitely looks different. We have arrived in the Orion system. There is an M-class planet ahead, but I am detecting Jem'Hadar vessels in the facility. I doubt they will allow us to reach unscathed. Not a problem.
The Jem'Hadar will not likely be interested in negotiation. I'm afraid you'll have to fight your way through.
Also not a problem. Next.
What a waste. Still, the nice thing about Jem'Hadar is that you can always breed more.
How Vorta of you.
To think, I will be the first Vorta to meet the new link.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Wow, okay. That station's defensible. I'm ready. Let's do this. Okay. We have arrived on Oras, sir. I am detecting Jem'Hadar life signs. We should be on our guard. Very purple planet. Purple leaves.
You have to admire the devotion of the Jem'Hadar. They never seem to tire of throwing their lives away for the Founders.
Huh? Yeah. Is that the link down there? Because that's weird.
There it is. It's even more beautiful than I imagined.
It's a swimming pool of changeling.
Think, my gods slumber below, dreaming in their link.
Your gods are a puddle. Your gods are a puddle of liquid. I don't think they're gods, but they are powerful. Let's take the high road. Defeat the guards, okay. Okay, cool. Floating plants. Defeat the Jem'Hadar sentries. Okay.
It's almost sacrilegious to have you here. I hope the Founders will understand the necessity and forgive me.
A pad. To whoever finds this pad, know that what you are reading is an act of disobedience, and if you are reading this, I am most likely dead. We are programmed to believe that the Founders are gods and infallible, but lately I have begun to question Lost's orders. Some of his explanations no longer make sense. For example, we have been monitoring the transmissions from local systems, and none of them have any mention of this crusade against the Founders. One of my brothers says he went to a facility where Ketracel White is manufactured. He said there was a Vorta there, but this Vorta is kept almost a prisoner and does not command the Jem'Hadar there. Still, obedience brings victory, and victory is life. Who are we to question the motives of a god, and when a god lies, is it still a lie? I would say yes. Defeat
The other Vorta are going to be so envious when they hear about this.
Okay, reach the lake. Yeah, which is not a lake. Wonder if you went, could you go skiing in this lake? Well, I wonder what would happen if you did. What if we, like, beamed down a boat and got in the lake and just started, what if we got, like, a a power boat or something, and just went in there and started doing tricks and flips and stuff. I don't like it. Oh crap. Changelings. Lots of them. That is just so freaky.
Have you come to finish the job of exterminating us, Solid?
We are not here to hurt you. You have been deceived by Loss.
Impossible. We have linked with Loss. He is in the link as we speak. We know all that he knows.
Then he must have some way of deceiving you.
It is true that he awoke before us. Let us summon him to answer these charges.
It's true, Great One. These people are not hunting you. The Great Link remains. The Dominion has a treaty with the Alpha Quadrant species.
This creature lies. You have joined with me. You know all that I know.
Then you should have no qualms about linking.
No, these solids have poisoned your minds. I will not be forced to link by them.
Okay. Oh, defeat Loss. The changelings are just going to let us do this. Supposed to capture him when he's in that form, I think.
Although it is unfortunate we had to resort to violence to force Lost into his liquid form, we are grateful for your assistance.
Oh, now you believe us all of a sudden?
We shall now be able to link with him and learn the whole truth of our past. If you are telling the truth, you have nothing more to fear from us. But we request that you leave us in peace. We have no interest in dealing with your kind.
So that whole time that he was in the link with y'all wasn't linked with y'all? That doesn't make any sense. Okie dokie.
Well, it has been a pleasure knowing you. I will remain here and serve the Founders. They have been without a Vorta and have much to learn about their siblings in the Gamma Quadrant. I know the Founders may seem ungrateful to you, but what can you expect from a god? Still, you have my gratitude for whatever the gratitude of an insignificant servant is worth.
That was another short mission. I didn't think it would be that short. Thought it would be a little more involved than that. But a nice, simple wrap-up, I guess. Oh, well, we got a Jim Hard
Although
dreadnought.
you have slain our brothers, we have orders to allow you to leave the system. But you are never to return. And let it be known among your peoples that this system belongs to us, and you are not welcome.
He is really green. Okie dokie, fly to designated coordinates. Huh. Interesting. Launch a beacon. I said launch a beacon. Configure a beacon. Oh, a warning beacon. Accolade complete. The Cardassian Struggle. I have now finished it for the second time. Those last two missions really wrapped up quickly. Let's turn this in real quick and we'll talk about this. The new link, Hail Starfleet.
Congratulations on destroying the facility. That should cripple the Alpha Jem'Hadar for the time being. But we need to make contact with this new link. Hopefully Naaman can convince them of the truth before it's too late. Keep a close eye on him. We may have a treaty with the Dominion,
Wrong.
but that doesn't mean I trust them.
Wrong text.
Aborta's first loyalty will always be to the Founders.
You're reading the wrong text, lady. Congratulations, Admiral. You have defeated the True Way and made peace with the Alpha Changelings. I have transmitted messages to the major powers of the galaxy, advising them to avoid the Orion system. I have one final request for you. Please return to DS9 at your convenience so that I might thank you personally. Bless me. Let's go to DS9 and see what she has to say. I'm real interested to see what she has to say. You will notice over here these messages from another universe. 1. These unlock as you go through the excuse me. Mirror Deep Space Nine. These unlock as you go through the Terran reputation, and I've currently unlocked the Tier 1 unlock for them. What I'm doing is saving them and not reading them yet, so that in the future, when I get through all the tiers, I can come back and make a video about it and just show you in one video what all the logs were, basically. So look forward to that in the future, but I have to get through the complete reputation of the Terran Empire first. Now, I had a loading problem previously. I hope it's gone. But what happened is I tried loading into DS9 just like this. This is exactly what happened before and got stuck. The loading screen would not continue. It would just do this. I literally let it sit there for an hour and went and did something else, and it still wasn't logged in. It was just stuck at the loading screen. Eventually, after several login attempts, I finally got in, but I hope that's not what's happening now, because if so, that's extremely annoying. But I think that's what may be happening right now. I think that I may be stuck in the loading screen again. I don't know why this happens, but this normally doesn't happen to me, but for some reason, since Season 11, beaming to DS9 has caused this problem for me. So I doubt I'm going to be able to get to DS9 and see what she had to say to us. I really apologize for that, because I wanted to see what she has to say for us. But it looks like I'm going to have this problem where I'm just continually stuck at the login screen. I don't know what to do about that. Arg. Yeah, that sucks. That is no good right there. Okay, so I guess that's not going to work. I'm going to pause the video, see if I can log out and in a few times, see if I can resolve this. If not, then I'll just come back on another character and talk about this, because I do want to talk about these missions we just did, because I've got a lot of things on my mind I want to say. So give me 1 second. I'm going to pause the video. This for you, it'll be instant. For me, I'm going to spend a little bit of time and see what I can do here. Stand by. Okay, captains. Finally, after several login attempts, finally managed to get it to load DS9. That was a real pain in the buttocks. Hate that problem. I hope they get that fixed, because that ain't going to be good. So let's see what she has to say, if she has anything to say to us at all.
How can I help you?
No, she really doesn't.
My name is Sarish Min. How can I help
No,
you?
she's got nothing to say to us. I can talk to her about the Terran Task Force, which is the reputation I'm working on, but that is a totally separate thing to the Cardassian Struggle. That is the reputation system here I am working on, Terran Task Force, where I've reached Tier 1 and now working on toward Tier 2, so those are the logs associated with that. Once I get them all opened up, once I get all the tiers done, I'll come back, make a video for you guys about that, so you can see what those Terran logs are all about. But that's a different thing. Okay. Well, let's talk about the missions then. Since we're here in Ops, this is a good place as any to talk about this. So let's do this. First thing I want to say is there was a very abrupt change in tone and storyline from Jabberwocky to the Factory. Between Spoils of War and Jabberwocky, it was all about the Orb of Possibilities, the Mirror Universe, and the True Way. But then when we jump into the Factory, all of a sudden, we jump into this new storyline about the new link. And then that ends with the new link. Literally, it wraps up after one mission. So these storylines between Spoils of War and Jabberwocky are the same, and then it changes storylines between the Factory and the new link, and that's a whole different thing. So a very abrupt changes, whereas in the original Cardassian Struggle, the story arc, took much longer. They had much more build-up to the Orb of Possibilities and the Mirror Universe, and then they had a wider arc with the other things going on as well. The new link especially, and then the Pa Wraiths. That's right, yes, the Pa Wraiths in Cage of Fire. We met a Pa Wraith. That has all been removed from the Cardassian Struggle. So I feel like we are missing a lot, because I'm familiar with how the Cardassian Struggle used to be, and there's a lot here that I don't like that they've removed. I thought a lot of that was going to be integrated into these 4 missions, and I was wrong. The Factory and the New Link were extremely short. Jabberwocky and Spoils of War, those were pretty lengthy, but the other 2 were pretty short. So, if you are wondering what the actual mission names were that were removed from the Cardassian arc, they are, in this order: Badlands, Suspect, War Games, Shutdown, Rapier, Forging Bonds, The Long Night, The Tribble with Klingons, Tear of the Prophets, Crack in the Mirror, The New Link, Seeds of Dissent, The Other Side, and Cage of Fire. Those are your missions that have been removed. Now, the first one, Badlands, is very similar to Spoils of War, except in the original Badlands it did not have the Orb of Possibilities. But otherwise, it was a very similar mission. So we can count that one into Spoils of War. Jabberwocky is really a combination of Kraken the Mirror, Tear of the Prophets, and the other side. Jabberwocky is like a culmination of 3 different missions, although very, very, very much different than they were. So in a way, those missions have been integrated into one mission, but very different from what they were. Now the other mission, the factory, that's brand new. There was nothing about a Ketracel White factory that I can remember. And then, well, maybe there might have been one that had like a Ketracel White factory in it and you had to destroy stuff in it, but that wasn't like the main point or something. It was a lot different anyway. And then the new link is very similar to the other new link, except you had to rescue, it was a longer mission. You actually had to rescue people from a Federation ship, and then at the end you did defeat Lost, just like this one, and you get to take him back for dilithium or something like that. So that ended that, but then we missed the other missions after that. So let's go through the ones that are not represented here. Suspect. Nothing about that mission has been revamped. That mission is the one where you go, and I think that's the holodeck mission, where you have to like be a spy or whatever. Something like that. I can't remember exactly, but those who have played it will remember it. It's gone. War Games. Suspect and War Games. One of those is one of those. One of those is the other one. I kind of vaguely remember what War Games is about. Those two are gone completely. Those did not necessarily deal with the true way, I don't think. Shutdown. That was one where you actually have to take over a mirror universe. I think that's the mirror universe one on DS9, where the mirror universe comes over to DS9 and you have to like stop them. That's gone. Rapier, that's the one where you go into the wormhole and have to save the ship at the end and then come all the way back to the other end again. Forging Bonds, that might be the one where it had that Ketracel White facility. I'm not sure, but I do remember. I think that one was a Space and Planet one. You had to search for stuff. The Long Night, I think, was the Empok Nor mission. That was the one where you actually got to go to Empok Nor. Totally no Empok Nor here in this new Cardassian Struggle. Totally, I hate that because people forget that station exists and is out there. We had a mission that completely, was about Empok Nor, and now it's gone. What the heck? The Tribble with Klingons, that had nothing to do with the true way. It was actually a mission with Klingons and Tribbles. It was a fun mission. It was just a filler mission, but it was a fun mission. It got us out of the scope of, Cardassians and true way for a little bit, and we dealt with something a little humorous, and that's a whole bunch of Tribbles around Klingons. So that was a cool mission. Why did they remove that? I don't know. Tear of the Prophets. Again, that was dealing with the orb of possibilities. Crack in the Mirror, and it was also one of those. I think in one of those, it might have been Crack in the Mirror, where we go back into the mirror universe, or maybe that was the other side. One of those we did, or maybe in 2 of them we actually went back into the mirror universe. In one of those missions, either the other side or Crack in the Mirror, we met Smiley's son. I think it was. He was, I guess, acting on behalf of the Mirror Universe people that had the Terran Empire or whatever. And the Molly, we fought that. All that's been removed. Cage of Fire, even though that mission was as bugged as crap, meaning your bridge officers would literally commit suicide and jump into the lava. I mean, that's what they would do. And they would not follow you, and you'd get to the end of the map, remember, and you'd have to fight the Paul Wraith lady all by yourself because all your bridge officers were dead. I had to do that a bunch of times. Those were good times. Those are good times that are lost, I'm telling you. But Cage of Fire, I mean, that was an awesome Paul Wraith mission. So there's something else that's been removed. All of those things have been removed. I don't see the need to have removed them. They could have replaced Badlands with Spoils of War. That's great. They could have replaced, I guess, Tears of the Prophets, Crack in the Mirror, and the other side with Jabberwocky, but maybe given us a little bit more to meet Smiley's son, or whoever that was. I think it was Smiley's son. I want to say it was his son. And then they could have had 2 missions out of that. They could have taken those 3 missions and just reduced those to 2 missions. That would have been all right. And then they could have left, the Long Night. They could have, or maybe changed it up a little bit. They could have left Cage of Fire, so we can deal with a Paw Wraith, and just changed it up a little bit. Seeds of Descent, I guess they could have got rid of. It wasn't a hard mission, but I didn't really see any point of Seeds of Descent. But Tear of the Prophet, Crack in the Mirror, the other side, I mean, we're missing a lot from that. Cage of Fire. The new Link, I guess I like what they've done with the new Link. I really don't have any complaints there. And then Suspect and War Games, just a couple of missions there. They probably could have reduced into one mission, and still had those things there. So that is my feedback on that. I'm not happy with the removal of a lot of those missions. I think they could have reduced some of those down to one mission, but still kept the overall storyline and plot line of them. I don't see that the removal of them was necessary. And things like the factory are a completely new mission anyway. These are good new missions they have, but it's not enough. You go straight from the new Link into second wave. I don't know, I just feel like a lot is lost. A lot of good things that were there were lost. And I'm not happy about that. I hope they come back. As it is now, this is the Cardassian Struggle. I do not know if they are going to revamp more missions or put more in here in the future or in future seasons, but I do hope they do. I want them to. I want them to revamp some of these other missions that were there and to put them back in the game. I would hope for that, but I don't know if they will. Anyway, that's what it is now. I'm glad I played these 4, but ultimately, as I go through and play this game again, especially as I'm going through on Rami Summers right now, I will feel a loss. I will feel that loss. And that's just because I've been playing the game for over 5 years. Now, new people playing the game, they won't know what they're missing because they have never played those missions in the first place. So to them, it'll just be what it is. But I'm telling you, for those people that have not played those missions, or if you're new to the game and will never play those missions again, you are missing something they used to have. And in a game that is lacking for content, that most people will claim needs more content, more missions, all that, why remove missions? Why not just revamp them, put some missions back in the game, but why remove missions when you're already struggling for content? Why remove so much stuff? I don't get that. I will never, ever understand that. Anyway, that's the Cardassian Struggle. Please let me know what you think of the new Cardassian Struggle as you play through it, and what you think of it now compared to how it was previously. Alright, thank you all for watching, and stay tuned for the next one.